welcome to another episode of the Best of Buckeye. I'm Superintendent Brian Williams, and we're joined by our cross-country team. So welcome, you guys. Thank you all for being here. Very happy to have you. Coach, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
And how about we start with you, and maybe each one of you could introduce yourselves.
All right, I'm Alex.
And what grade are you in?
I'm in 8th grade.
8th grade, okay.
I'm Coach Joe.
What grade are you in? Okay, never mind. Keegan?
Keegan Gallagher. I'm a senior at high school.
I'm Brianna Curlin. I'm in 8th grade.
Okay.
Maddie Williams. I'm a senior.
All right, very good. Well, thank you guys for being here, and I apologize, Maddie, for my back a little bit to you there. Try to make both go, but maybe we'll start with Coach. Coach, maybe you could tell me a little bit about these guys, and maybe tell us a little bit about your season this year.
Well, Alex Demigal, he is one of our top junior high boy runners. He's in 8th grade. Alex is a hard worker, and we're really looking forward to Alex coming back next year on the high school team.
All right.
Maddie Williams, she is our only senior on the girls team, so she is sort of like the mom of
okay.
a lot of young girls up there. She shows a lot of leadership, and we will miss her next year. She'll have some big shoes to fill when she leaves. Brianna Curlo, she is one of our 8th grade girl runners. Brianna's sort of shy. We're getting her to open up a little bit. She's a very hard worker. Brianna is very diligent in her training, and that's a great quality to have as a cross-country runner.
Absolutely. And
Keegan Gallagher, he is the only senior boy that we have also. We only have 2 seniors on the team this year. Keegan is a captain, just like Maddie is, and he's a great leader. And whenever we need anything, I mean, we can always count on Keegan to be there to step it up and do it for us.
Brandon, just what you want then to be on TV, huh? You're a little shy. That's okay. It's okay. It's just us talking. So, Keegan and Mandy?
Yes.
Maddie, sorry. As seniors, maybe you could each tell us about your team, and maybe from your perspective as a senior, how's the season been so far, and maybe personally, just any highlights for yourself.
Sure.
Okay.
Our high school team is mostly made up of freshmen this year. Kind of a blessing to have all of them join our team this year. They've all really stepped up and have done a great job so far. And we're really looking forward to our conference meet in 2 weeks.
And do you know where that is offhand? And a date? Do you know?
It will be. It'll be the 11th of October, and it is at the Carlisle Equestrian Center on Nickel Plate Diagonal Road in LaGrange.
What time?
The first race goes off at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's junior high girls.
Okay.
I would encourage everyone to come out and see all 4 of our teams run. It's going to be a very competitive conference this year, and we're looking to walk out of there with 4 conference championships.
And that's part of why we do this. So hopefully anybody watching, maybe they have an interest in come on and watch you compete. How about highlights for your season this year?
For me personally?
Yeah.
Running Galleon was definitely a highlight. I got to PR there. And my last all-night run, which is a thing that we do as a team every year before the season actually starts, was definitely cool to have my senior all-night run.
Good. Very good. Keegan, how about the boys?
So we start off the season very well, and it's been different than most seasons because we've only had 1 senior, and most of our varsity team is made up of juniors, with 1 sophomore and 1 freshman. So we've been improving throughout the entire season, and it's the first year in many where our top 7 guys have all been in the 19s.
Wow.
So, which is very good.
So that bodes well for the tournament and for the league meet, and also for moving into sectionals. Has that occurred yet?
Our districts will be the weekend after our conference race, which will be the 18th.
Okay.
And then if we place high enough at our district meet as a team, then we'll move on to our regional race, which is in Tiffin.
And how do you feel about that? I know we never get into predicting, but do you feel good?
I feel that both the high school girls and boys team can make it out of districts if they go out there and run how they're able to run. There are some good teams in our district, but I think we are just as good as any team in our district. So I think that both teams could make it out of the district to the regional meet.
Great. How about junior high? Can you talk about the boys' season?
Yeah, we're doing pretty well. We've got We've got a good top 7. Mostly, well, we've got a lot of new 8th graders, which are what our team is mostly made up of. We only have 4 7th graders, but yeah, we have a pretty strong top 7, and I think we have a pretty good chance of doing well this year.
Good, good. How about the girls?
Well, I think the top 7 girls, like their times that they hit are really good, and that can help to like bring out wins.
So you've had a good season so far? Do you have a record, or what's your record? Do you know?
Well, for me personally, for mine was 15-15.
That's your personal best? All right. How about you?
My personal best is 12:47
Wow. And how about you
for
guys?
this year.
We run 5Ks.
Yes.
They do 2 miles.
So junior high is 2 miles, and a 5K is 3.2 miles. Is that right?
3.1.
3.1.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. They always think that extra tenth of a mile, and then
A mile and a tenth. Yeah. When you get to high school, they figure you're going to run a
Yeah.
little bit better, so you get to run another mile and a tenth.
Yeah. How about Keegan and Maddie, your futures as seniors? What do you guys want to do? Do you know?
I don't know. I was thinking about going to nursing into the medical field after I graduate.
Great.
I'm not really
Do
sure.
you know yet?
I'm definitely going to go to Akron University next year and hopefully get my teaching degree.
Oh, good for you. Maybe come back to Buckeye. All right, all right. Coach, you guys for the last couple years anyway have been developing some of your younger runners through your running club at the intermediate school. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. Every it would be late winter, early spring. We have a program that we start. It's in March, around the middle of March, and it's for 4th, 5th, and 6th grade kids that would be interested in running after school. We hold it 2 days a week. One of the other coaches, Coach Auber, and Coach John, and myself, we started a few years ago, and it runs for about the length of 9 weeks, and it leads up to the foundations run with the Bucks race, and then we train the kids for those 9 weeks. And then on the last week of our training, that following Saturday, then is the run with the Bucks race, and then we have them all run that race as part of being trained for that. And that has been a huge influence in the amount of kids that we have seen at the junior high level. And we've never seen the kind of numbers that we've had over the last couple years in the junior high program since that program has started at the elementary school. So it's a great feeder program for the cross country team, because you get a lot of kids that really wouldn't have that desire to run. You get them in the elementary school, and then they just continue to do it on into junior high.
And kudos to you guys as coaches for doing that and organizing that and making that happen, and really making that a part of your program. And I want to thank the foundation and because of the wonderful things that they do,
Yes.
and supporting that, and also the Run with the Bucks that happens in May. So anybody out there that wants to run,
Right.
Come out to our track in May. We'll get the date later. I don't know the exact date.
We
off the top
are
of my
we are
head.
already in the early planning stages of the race in May. So you know, it'll we don't really have a date pinned down, I don't think yet either.
I
So
think we do. So
it'll probably be like around the 17th, 16th, somewhere in there. I think is usually when we do it, around the middle of May.
yeah, and this is really a sport that you can do throughout your whole life. I mean, you just don't do
Yes.
it.
Yes.
I think you're a pretty avid runner yourself.
Yes, yeah, I didn't start running until much later in life, you know, and I run quite frequently. You know, try to get in as much as I can. You know, with cross country, it's sort of difficult when you're on the coaching side of it to try to do those things. But I try to get as much in as I can. I mean, it's a life sport. You know, we look at it like that.
Well, and you and Coach Brennan Stahl and Coach Auber, I give you guys a lot of credit. You do a great job. Really promote the love of running and love of the sport, and we appreciate that, and we thank you for that, because it is something really all kids should do. Really, I mean, everybody should have that fitness lifestyle, and this certainly lends itself to that.
We have a new coach this year that just came on board, Coach Ashley Strain, who is the PE teacher up at the high school. She joined our coaching staff this year, and she has been a tremendous help to us. I mean, her knowledge of the physical aspect of running and and just having another person there right after school. In the past, we've had to postpone practices a little bit because all the coaches, because of personal reasons, couldn't get there. And with her and I getting out of work and being able to get there at the appropriate or earlier times, we can get the kids in, get their training done, and then get them home so that they can have a decent dinner at a decent time and get their homework done and that kind of stuff, because I know they all lead very busy lives, just like everyone else.
Absolutely. Well, and the fear I always is to bring some kids on, and we don't get to mention everybody, but is there anybody either from the junior high team or the high school team that you want to mention that have made a big impact? I'll just throw that out to anybody if there's anybody you'd like to mention from your teams.
Mom and Dad.
Well, don't forget your mom and dad. Sure.
I think Lydia Healy she's a freshman on the high school girls team. She's really stepped up this year, and she's our top girls runner. She's definitely had an impact on the team.
Brady Vickers and Josh Tatro, last year, they weren't the best runners, but now they're our top 2 runners, and they've really improved from last year.
Hard work. Yeah, it's hard work. Good. Anybody else? Don't want to forget anybody. But.
I think Maddie Rocheville and Brooke Franz, because they hit times that are unbelievable, so I think they help out.
Keegan, anybody else?
Well, I can name a couple of certain people, but what we've been doing this year differently is we've been running in groups. So we've been training together to grow our times and so everybody gets faster. But I can't even count the number of times Colin Tice has won a race. And Aiden, my little brother Aiden Gallagher, stepped up tremendously this year as well by improving a lot. Everybody on the team has improved this year.
Awesome. And that's what it's all about. And again, I almost hesitate to do that because it really is about team. It's about everybody running together, and no individual is any bigger than any part of the team. So it's really about a team and team sports. I see that Keegan, you gave blood today.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that. We had the bloodmobile at our school today, so be careful tonight.
No, he's not running tonight.
Okay,
he already told me on the way here he gave twice as much as they allow him to give. So
would they forget to turn the spigot off or what?
No, double red.
Oh yeah, double red. Well, thanks for doing that. It's a wonderful thing that our kids do. So, anything else, Coach, that we want to make sure we mention today?
No, we're looking forward to cross country season. We've been working very hard since the first week in July, but our season really starts now, just prior to our conference race, and then going into districts and regionals, and then eventually the state tournament. That's when the cross-country season really gets fun for us as a team and as coaches.
And if there were intermediate students out there that maybe were interested in the running club, will there be announcements, or how will they find out about that?
We will surely send a flyer home with the elementary kids that when the run club is to start, and then what we usually do is send flyers out to the junior high and to the high school and have them make announcements on their morning announcements that something like that is starting. I know that Coach Strain usually runs a program in her gym classes where she has some of the kids run or train for the 5K also. But yes, we will make sure the public knows that when that date is, when we're starting, and like I said, we always have a good turnout, and it's only for 4th, 5th, and 6th grade students.
Right. Well, and we hope that they'll consider being a part of that, and for parents, hope you'll encourage your kids to be a part of that. It's a great way to get out, start to learn a little bit more about running, and get involved in something. I want to thank all of you for being here. Thanks for what you do. You represent our school district in such a wonderful way. Always make us so proud, and we appreciate that. And cross country is one of those sports. It's a little bit harder to be a spectator because you run by and that's it sometimes.
Yeah.
So, but we certainly would encourage anybody to come out and watch a meet and enjoy a meet, and come out and support you guys and what you do. So thank you for being here. Thanks for what you do and representing us so well. And I want to thank our public for tuning in today. Again, for the Best of Buckeye, this is Brian Williams, and we thank you for tuning in and look forward to more episodes to come in the future. Thank you.